Hello, Graphite Knights, and in this video we're going to be talking about how we can make our characters really feel their emotions and show that in our story. So let's get into it. We're going to be using 5-point. Everybody is aware that I'm a fan of the 5-point, hopefully at this point. It is not the only style that I use, but it is one of my favorites, and so if you haven't and you want to check out some of the videos about how to make 5-point, definitely would encourage you to do that, or just follow along and you'll catch the bug. But we have 5 points, and these are our vanishing points. That means that what is below that horizon line, if you look at that crosshair, the line that is completely straight left to right, that's a horizon point. What's below that, we're looking down at. What's above that, we're looking up at. And it creates a kind of warped perspective. And now we're going to be doing a character, and that's going to have some fun implications to it. This character is very small. She's a fairy. She's also going to be leaning back, tilting her head up. She is looking at the mouth of a giant monster. In this panel, we're going to kind of have her say, like, hey, you got this one, to the Graphknight. And so giving her the space to do that, while also conveying, and that's what we're here to talk about today, the emotion she's feeling. She's small. Okay, we've already got that going for her. That is one way to show a character is feeling afraid or insecure, or at least it can be. But here's the thing. She's always small. It doesn't necessarily read as if she's afraid just because she's small in our story, right? And so how do we show that she feels small? And I think especially having her head and her chest, right, as something that is looking up, even though we've twisted the camera angle, is going to be one way to do that. So she's still staring up at the monster, even though we're having the opportunity to, in part, stare up at her. And that shows that she does indeed feel small. She's aware of her smallness compared to the thing she is looking at. I think having her bend this way, too, we have the opportunity to kind of do a full body look and say, like, okay, what's going on? She's not in a fighting pose. She is very much just standing there. Right now, I'm just kind of crafting out, like, what would an arm look like if it's like this? We're going to have her put an arm in front of her body, kind of like to protect her, and another arm's going to go behind her. And so there's this very real element in which she's kind of covering and hiding herself. She's feeling nervous about the monster. I'm thinking it's going to be a spider, by the way. And so she's not feeling this one. We'll show that here in a second. But for now, I just want to kind of base sketch, get proportions out, and start feeling my way through the drawing. Another plan that we have, and you guys will know this because you saw the beginning of this video, is we want to put her on top of the Graphknight. I think that one is going to be very difficult for me to do perspective-wise. And if this doesn't read right in the end, I'm worried that that will be the reason why. So we'll get into it and we'll see. We'll just take it a step at a time. And so you see how much she's looking up. That is a sizable lean that we have going on here. This is a cartoon, so we're comfortable doing that. Also the perspective bends, and you kind of read that in her hair a little bit. Her hair's not falling so far back that you're like, oh, okay, it's not the perspective. It's just the way she's tilting her head back, but it's both. It's both. She's got a little bit of a head tilt, and she's got some perspective pushing her head back too, so that her looking up is emphasized. I also think it's kind of fun because we're playing with this perspective. She's almost further shortened, right? Like her legs, they look very, very squished. That's the right word. Distorted, right? And that helps to communicate for us. That helps show in our story what we're going for. We're going to put her in the outfit she's been in this world. This is written by Benji, who actually is me, and but I'm a character in the story. I'm the god of the world, right? Lowercase g, writing the story, and so I'm not omnipotent, omniscient. I'm not always there. Things happen with the characters that are not related to me directly, but part of the reason he's dressed in all knight armor and she's the fairy and she's wearing like essentially like an Eras Tour outfit kind of thing is because that's what I think through. Okay, for me in a fantasy world, that's what I'm wearing. My wife, she's like into the Sabrina Carpenter stuff. She's into like if she could, she'd be a fairy. She'd go do that kind of thing. And so I wanted to play to those things and almost be humorous about it, and allow us to just to be us. And since these are characters inside my journal, that's what they get to be. Okay, so we're crafting her out. She has her outfit and her backstory just kind of sitting there with her. And then we're going to give her some purple wings. Sweet. Wonderful. And you can't forget it. There's got to be a lot of glitter. And so we will glitter that out as well once we're going into the shading portion. For now I have to deal with the Graphknight. He should be kind of bulbous looking. It almost is like if you've ever seen someone with one of those selfie sticks and they're walking around and their head is huge and the whole world looks circular around them. That's kind of what we're going for here, but the trick is his head is actually going to be stretching past the camera. I wonder if in hindsight I should have like tilted it more. Maybe that's what it's missing. I feel as if it's missing something. I'll just tell you guys that up front. If you guys have thoughts, let me know. But we want this to read like, yeah, she's this small little creature sitting on his shoulder, and even he's going to be outmatched in terms of size, but for her, like, it's a problem. It's a real problem with this spider. And so, yeah, you can kind of picture her saying, I think you can picture. I'm content with her. I don't know how if I'm content with her in the scene she's in, but you can kind of picture her being like, "You got this one," and him being like, yeah, okay." And then we launch into the action sequence, which is going to be fun. Okay, shading. Shading is important. It can also help show some of the perspective that we have going on. I'm less familiar, I'll be honest with you. I'm less familiar with drawing females than I am with males. Just growing up, obviously it was always things like Spider-Man and Wolverine and knights and Aragorn and Lord of the whatever. But it didn't really, in my head, at least until I was a teenager, I don't think I ever thought about like, oh, maybe I should also draw like, I don't know, Galadriel and Spider-Gwen. And so the process has been real in terms of trying to learn the new shapes and the anatomical differences between men and women and all those kinds of things. Anyways, long and short of it, here she is. Time to get her sparkled out. We will start with her wings, and that's it's pretty doable. I don't like how clustered it is in the bottom there, so just kind of smoothing that out a little bit. And then we're going to give her suit some sequins as well, because that's the kind of thing you do with these suits. And she is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll shade in hair. The knight is already ready to go, which is sweet. And so we're getting pretty close to the end of this. I think the background could afford to be a little less flat, but ultimately we want her to be the focus. She does glow in her fairy form, and so I'm just kind of showing that off in this panel a little bit. I had mixed emotions about this as well, as to whether or not this was a good idea, something I wanted to do or not. Ultimately decided I would. Played with my knight's perspective a little bit, and this is kind of where we ended up landing. Sorry, still showing. There we go. And here we have it, guys. As you can see, we've done a couple of things to make you feel this character's emotion. She's small. We've emphasized that. By using the 5-point. She's looking up. She's frowning. Her eyebrows are raised. She is not feeling confident. She's feeling very nervous. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.